Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your mid-December reading. Of course, energy is fluid, so it may permeate a little before the 15th, a little after the 31st. Without further ado, let's get right into your reading now, Gemini. I was meditating, reading may be a focus for a number of you, but however that may resonate with you, Reddit, okay, maybe something coming through blogging as well, okay, but the image I'm getting for you, rather, Gemini, is one of this romanticism, okay, romanticism, as if you're living through a novel, a play, and it's one where you're really setting your imagination to roam. And I'm getting it as a sort of channeling, I'm hearing, of a higher frequency, okay? In terms of there being a sort of magic, a magical sort of undertone to whatever it is that you're doing at this time, to whatever perhaps it is that you're planning at this time. I'm getting an emphasis on planning, and as I was meditating on your energy before I turn on the camera, there was this sort of vision that I was getting of beautiful just flowers and garlands and a very, yet again, a romantic, a touchy-feely sort of energy. And I'm not getting it as, let's say, an introverted, okay, sort of romantic, receptive energy, so to speak, but one that is very much about displaying, showing this, I'm hearing this touch, okay, and I'm hearing this touch of air, the lightheartedness that, and with which, okay, I'm hearing that you connect to specifically your ability to feel and empathize with others in a certain way. So what is otherwise known to be, by way of our relations with others, perhaps, or even celebration, something that may be known to be, I'm hearing cooey, okay, cooey, so whatever that may mean to you in particular, however it resonates, whatever is known to be, let's say, more touchy, okay, where it's like, okay, we think, well, interpersonal relations or personal relations or relationships are one-on-one, in private, in the dark, okay, I'm hearing undisclosed. You are bringing forth in such a way where such sentimentalism, such moments even, are captured in the light. Okay, beautiful energy that I'm feeling for you. It's so, it's light, and yet there's a certain depth and meaning that is carried through whatever it is that I'm getting. Again, you may be planning or preparing, and there's a focus here on I'm hearing semantics, okay, for a number of you. So there may be certain organized communication, written work, okay, that goes into this period of time. But as well, whatever it is that, as well visual for a number of you, I'm getting that. And the vibe I'm sort of feeling here, the vision, rather, I want to say that I'm feeling here and I'm getting here is almost as if it's like a Pinterest board, okay? And it's just such a creative energy, Gemini. It's beautiful. Nonetheless, okay, I was going to say that whatever it is that you are organizing, and I'm getting that you are organizing something, you are composing something. There are so many factors to it. There's so much that goes into it, and you realize that, okay, in a certain way, and you are aware of what goes into it, and you want to be and to hold the sort of viewer's discretion with how it's displayed in its finality. And I was so drawn to pyrite for you, a beautiful stone. Speaking of manifestation, okay, and so this may be something that you have, I'm hearing long haul, for the long haul you've been working towards. I'm hearing for a number of you, I'm getting for a number of you a focus on marriage, okay, and the merging of a certain duality here in such a way that consecrates, okay, makes sort of official, grounded. I'm also hearing venture, so for a number of you this may be partnership, a professional partnership or bond in a certain way, depending on how you see it, however it is that you take it, can be meant in a number of ways. I'm also drawn here to black tourmaline that sits just above this pyrite stone. Speaking of the groundedness of the vision, okay, so there's a certain imagination, as I'm feeling it for you, that is, I'm hearing landscape, that takes shape and form by way of your vision of it, okay, of what it is that you see, okay, and being very descriptive with that. I'm getting that you're very descriptive. I want it to look like this. I want it to happen in this way and that way, and there may be a certain simplicity to it as well, but it's highly personalized, okay, as I'm getting it for you, Gemini. I'm hearing scripted. Whatever it is that you are forming, organizing, and I'm hearing character play, you realize that as much as it is of intention and thought, okay, that organizes in a certain way what you're working with, you realize that there is a certain physicality to the experience of this culmination. There's a certain third dimensional property to it that is to be experienced, okay? And the vision that I'm getting specifically is of a marriage, for example, depending on how you see it, however you regard that experience, okay? There's the realization that, okay, well, maybe, you know, emotionally, energetically, we feel that we are, I'm hearing ligated, that we are one in a certain way, that we are merged, but there's a certain formalization, okay, I'm hearing, to the process, and it doesn't have to be necessarily a marriage as deemed by the Constitution, as deemed by the law, okay, or even a certain experience, but or in terms of quote-unquote love, however it is that you deem love. It could be, right, applying in many different ways, also on the professional front. But as an example, right, for a number of you, I'm getting this, I'm feeling this, that you realize that, yes, it's a personal process and experience, and that, yes, ultimately it's the intention that goes into it. Ultimately, it's the energetics of the movement and whatever the process is that we are experiencing to the point of culmination, okay? And I'm hearing resources and assets for a number of you as well, so there may absolutely be a focus on that, and you do have a number of cards that popped out speaking to the earth element, but we'll get to that. At the end of the day, I'm hearing Taurus for you, okay? And Taurus was coming out when I was meditating on your energy before turning on the camera as well, so that may be an archetype that's a focus. Nonetheless, Gemini, this is an experience that you want to experience on so many levels. And you're like, even if it's something that is inherently energetic, even if it's the energetic, the emotional, the spiritual, I'm hearing the socio, even political, okay, I'm hearing that has to do with perhaps the esoteric nature of whatever it is that I'm dealing with. At the end of the day, there is a certain formality, a finalization of the sentiment that I'm hearing we're all feeling. So there may be focus on community as well, okay, for a number of you. Now, let's see what these two cards are that popped out. The Father of Wands in reverse and the Chariot in reverse. These two cards came out for, it was Taurus. Okay, Taurus pulled these two cards. You have the Chariot in reverse. I'm seeing it sort of as these two happening in the apex here, right in between pyrite and this black tourmaline stone that is almost razor cut and adjoined by another stone of much lighter, I'm hearing frequency, okay? So, and a little piece of I'm hearing the pie just tumbled off, okay? I'm hearing off stage, okay? So there's something perhaps of joining and yet reconfiguring and reflecting upon exactly the role that each part plays in a certain way. And I'm getting that you are very much in the directorship of that in a certain way. Now, Father of Wands in reverse, the Chariot in reverse. There's a focus on manifestation, absolutely, and the direction with that. Let's keep these two at the apex. and get to the rest of the energies. The Five of Swords in reverse, the Mother of Pentacles upright, the Hermit in reverse, the Six of Wands upright, and the Father of Pentacles upright. Okay, all 5 cards, I was going to say nearly upright. Okay, interesting. They're almost in like a zigzag, okay, fashion. You have this interweaving of upright in reverse, the Five of Swords in reverse, Mother of Pentacles upright, the Hermit in reverse, Six of Wands upright, the Father of Pentacles, okay, upright, ending it sort of looking back at this interweaving, okay, I'm hearing effect that is begun with a train of thought, and I'm hearing with a silence as well, with a focus on the parameters through which, the perspective through which we are operating, I'm hearing financially. This is a specific message for a number of you, okay? A strong focus on finances, and there may be 2 individuals here involved, 2 parties that are, I'm hearing, of the same, are like-minded, okay? I'm hearing the same source. They are, in a certain way, perhaps related as it pertains to how I'm hearing the upkeeping of finances is handled. There is a certain point of reconfiguration of how these, not finances, but the way that the finances are, I'm hearing conveyed, okay, how they are, how the financial relationship, okay, is formed, is a focus here. Okay, and you have the Hermit in reverse in the smack dab middle. There's mirroring the Five of Swords in reverse. There is a reshifting of the perspective, perception of how it is that I'm hearing all parties are involved. Okay, so there may be a reworking of the finances of, I'm hearing the accounting, the books. For a number of you, that is a financial story. Okay, now let us see what comes through in the Celtic Cross, Gemini. I'm hearing sweet. I'm hearing Sweet Home Alabama for a number of you. Okay, let's see what comes through. Oh, very interesting. Okay. Wow. There is a certain doubling over, okay, of energy where, and it's almost the feeling that I'm getting of like packing. And I've had this feeling for you, Gemini, for quite a few readings now, where it's like this feeling of packing. You're packing and sorting and organizing, be it bits of information, be it actual physical objects, be it trains of thought, ideas, creative assets and resources. There's a, I'm hearing retraining, reframing of, I'm hearing specifically assets and resources for a number of you. And it's almost as if what you've been working with no longer holds as an independent, I'm hearing, ideology, as an independent as well, I'm hearing solo. It's, I'm hearing it's taking on an organized form where what exists as an independent variable is now to coordinate in a certain way and conform to an organized structure. So, and I'm seeing it as pieces of clothing, Gemini, very interesting. Okay, it's almost as if, well, you know, every piece of clothing in my closet at one point, right prior to my decision to move, translocate, and you did pull the Chariot here right at your apex, would just be right hanging in my closet on its own hanger. But now that I am undertaking the organizational process, I'm hearing the undertone, okay, setting the undertone, the frame of reference for this change. I'm now folding my clothes and stacking them upon each other. And it's a matter of understanding how exactly to sort and sift them through, okay, in such a way where they are organized, okay, where they are acknowledged in their, I'm hearing, in their independent rights. And yet, at the same time, I'm hearing brought with. I'm hearing brought home. Brought with home. Okay. Brought home with. There's the realization that I'm hearing every oddity has its challenge. Okay. But at the end of the day, there is a unification, okay, I'm hearing, again, of resources for you, but there is a focus here on, you have the Ace of Cups in your environment. Believe it was Taurus who pulled the Ace of Cups. Taurus pulled the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Cups, okay, so you have the Ace of Cups in your environment that is facing the stack that leads you out energetically into your final outcome. But the Ace of Cups that faces the stack sort of hopped off and landed right on the environment card, which is the Moon in reverse for you. So there is a coming to light, a coming to head of matters of desire, okay, of love, of what we feel we desire. Okay, that becoming very clear. Okay, our motives becoming very clear. And there's this sort of feeling of wanting to be transparent with that in a certain way, with what it is that we're feeling. And so the feeling I'm getting for you, and as I was meditating on your energy before I turned on the camera, Gemini, I was getting this sort of, it's like, I want it to be known, not in an outlandish way, but I want it to be known for the sake of what it stands for as a feeling that resides within me. I want to, I'm hearing, bring to light what I'm hearing my dying, I'm hearing, an undying purpose is, and what my shield, perhaps, in a certain way, of that has been. And it doesn't necessarily have to be, right, of your own doing in a certain way. It could be also a certain value, a certain context of the environment. I'm getting the context through which you have been revealing something through time, that you have been showcasing, I'm also hearing as well, through time. There perhaps was a certain facet of whatever the, I'm hearing, ley line, this came through, I believe it was for Leo, okay, or Taurus, nonetheless, of that a factor of the environment, of the context, that was in some shape or form just not the right time to do it, okay? I'm getting that here in the environment for you strongly between the Ace of Cups and the Moon in reverse. And let me emphasize that whatever was as you felt it, not the time. Now there's the feeling that the environment is just right. It's just conducive to open perhaps this dialogue even about matters of desire, of partnership, of love, and the frames of references that we've held, okay, to this point to realize so clearly that the feeling stands, I'm hearing, on its own 2 feet. Very interesting. Now you have the Sun upright in the deep past. I'm hearing in all its glory. It was it Taurus who pulled? Yes, it was yes, it was Taurus that pulled the Sun upright in the deep past. Okay, same exact position as you. You have 6 of Pentacles upright in the recent past, the 8 of Wands upright in the current state. Okay, 6 of Cups upright in your advice, the Mother of Wands upright, right above this 8 of Wands, and that's banded there for anyone who hears some snoring or snorting. He's resting here in his bed. Okay, now you have the 6 of Wands upright in your near future, the 8 of Cups in reverse in your hopes and your fears. Now, similar to the way that the Ace of Cups sort of jolted apart from its own stack, you have the 8 of Cups that landed not in the position of your hopes and your fears, but right on top of the 6 of Wands. So there's something, again, of a layering sort of effect. And I'm hearing it specifically between your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions. Okay, so there's a perceptive nature to the emotions that you have perhaps been feeling, and I'm getting it as a sort of through time, okay, an experiential, I'm hearing, learning course for a number of you, and take it as you will, right? Could be meant in a number of ways, taken in a number of ways, but the focus also on the feelings, yes, being, I'm hearing, omnipresent, omnipotent, a focus, absolutely, but then as a further layer, okay, I'm hearing as an expansion of the ideals that we hold emotionally by way of what we've experienced, there is a certain focus on the, I'm hearing, analytical propensities of what we've been feeling, as well as on the communicative propensities as well. So it's like, okay, well, I've been feeling this. I've been feeling these things. There's something that's very clear to me now that I desire, that I recognize. It's a feeling I'm hearing that I like to not only perceive in an idealized state, but to understand how to bring to form and to light in a certain way as a desire. I'm now recognizing the potential that communication and open lines of communication hold as it pertains to dealing with matters that are inherently emotional. Okay, you then have the Ten of Wands upright in the I'm hearing far future. So I'm hearing January for you, specifically January 8th for a number of you. You have the Nine of Wands upright in your theme, overlaying the Ten of Swords upright, overlaying the Daughter of Wands upright, mirroring this Nine of Wands upright, a focus being on this Daughter of Wands, fire energy strongly. So you have the Mother of Wands as well. There may be a connection. Okay, I'm hearing allegation for a number of you, whatever that may mean. You do have the Ten of Swords right in front of the Daughter of Wands. The Two of Cups upright right beneath the Daughter of Wands. A focus here on partnership. You have the Six of Cups as well upright in your advice. There's a focus on what we make of matters of partnership, what we create from partnership, what the role that partnership holds for us expands as when we realize that what we want to create is a connective body. Okay, there's a focus on community for you. And I'm hearing Capricorn and Sagittarius as well. And you have the Devil here upright, right behind and beneath this Two of Cups. Bandit, Bandit. Bandit. Come here, Bandit. Come. And there is a certain seriousness, Gemini, with which you are regarding and taking on matters of, I'm hearing community, communal force, recognizing that partnership, it's like, okay, this is what you're thinking, John. It's like, okay, you can partner up with someone. Two forces. And again, you have this stone, right? Black tourmaline mixed with, and I'm hearing multimedia, mixed with perhaps varying modalities of concentrated force to create something, right? The merging of polar forces. The focus being on that. But you're like, I don't want to just understand it as an esoteric principle. My aim is to carry this recognition of the role that partnership can play and infiltrate whatever it is that I realize is my ideal, is my dream, is my goal, as being a fabrication of collection, of collective abilities. So you're realizing, I may hold a certain desire, but there's a certain complementary aspect to creation that I want to be in charge of. Yes, I want to organize and strategize. Yes, I want that to be, I'm hearing my creative lead, and I'm hearing prospect, vision. It's of my vision. But at the end of the day, I'm hearing, I don't want to be standing lonesome on the stage. Okay, I realize that it is collaboration that brings not only the network of my varying propensities together, but of the abilities that I'm hearing the wholesomeness of our integration create. So you realize, I hold certain abilities. I can create certain things, and I hold a certain vision, but at the end of the day, what not only is created, okay, by way of partnership, all right, the duality of forces adjoining, creating something. For me, I'm realizing the focus is on the abilities that we then create by way of adjoining. So the focus is not only on what is created, but what is created to then create further, and the focus being on that sort of longevity as well, specifically as it pertains to matters of finances and creative assets. I'm hearing molding, melding, modalities. So now creativity absolutely here, and sort of collagey feeling that I'm getting for you, Gemini. Again, kind of having that vision of Pinterest. But you have 2 6s sandwiching this 8 of Wands upright, both sort of speaking to connective energy that creates and expands, okay? And there may be a focus on a pair here, absolutely, in matters of partnership. You do have the 2 of Cups, right? But right above this Devil, and which is interesting because, right, the 2 of Cups is sort of like lighthearted, emotionally charged energy, sentimental energy as well. The Devil is extremely sort of level-headed. Okay, there is a ignition of passion, of force, of drive, yes, desire even. Okay, but there is an objectivity with which the Devil seeks out, I'm hearing, its purpose, its aim. So you're realizing that there is a charge, I'm hearing an elemental charge to matters of partnership, that forces coming together to create something, be it people, be it creative assets, whatever it may be it visions, be it, I'm hearing opportunities, okay, networks even, finances. You realize that partnerships, yet again, yes, are ultimately sentimentally driven, perhaps, for a number of you. They are perhaps even spiritual. I'm hearing kindling, rekindling as well. But at the end of the day as well, there is a creative potential that is manifested through partnership, that I'm hearing that you are, I'm hearing forwarding, that you either want to communicate, that you want to be integrated in your cause. Yet again, it's almost as if that's a message for you, Gemini. And I'm hearing Capricorn for you and Sagittarius both. That it's like, whatever it is that I create, I don't want it to just be a form of creation. I want to speak about the collaborative energy that has gone into the creation of whatever it is that I have brought to manifestation fruition, of what we have brought to manifestation fruition. And I'm getting that it behooves you in a certain way, as you may feel it or see it, to take that stance on, okay, and one that is sort of transparent as well, where the humanity, I'm hearing the human tile, okay, not infantile, the human tile, take it as you will, approach to the work is is of benefit to you, okay? And the sort of foil of this energy, the desire to take this stance in a very personal way was reflected in Taurus's reading. So if you know a Taurus, there may absolutely be crossover here. You may want to check that video out. Nonetheless, Gemini, now, I'm hearing premonition. There's a certain guided, very interesting. So through my window, I see a reflection upon another window, okay, just over on the opposing side of my window. And it's a reflection of what's above the building that I'm watching out from. And so I just saw someone walking, right? It's like a roof. Someone walking just as the sun is setting against the light. And so they appear to be a sort of shadow, and they walked forward, and then they made a turn. It was almost an exact sort of an angular path that was walked. And there's this feeling that there's a certain orientation, there's a certain, perhaps even guided, I'm hearing message, a guided a direction, a strategy that I'm hearing is organized for you, that you feel is organized. It's almost like I feel compelled to move in a certain way. I feel that I'm hearing it's written in stone, it's written in the stars. I'm hearing it's in ether, it's in ether. I feel that what I feel compelled to do may not have a rhyme or a reason, but that I am sure that there is a rhyme and a reason, but that cannot be fathomable until I reach the point of acceptance, that the feeling that I feel that compels me to create is the feeling of love for what I create. The passion that I hold for reaching heights that are unfathomable, I realize I'm hearing justifications of love. And you have this Ace of Cups, right in your environment. The focus, okay, and it was like, I'm not going to be in the energetic pathway. I am in the environment. I'm hearing, I'm living, I'm breathing. The feeling, the desire I'm hearing is palpable. You acknowledge the role that emotional ism plays, and I'm hearing it again for you. The humanity, also perhaps humanitarianism, okay, and a focus being on community as well. Here for you, Gemini, but you realize yet again that the principle that is not just a principle for your work, that was not just, I'm hearing laid, I'm hearing the fathers before you, okay, take it as you will, however it is that may resonate with you in particular, but that is simply a guiding force, that you realize I feel it, and that is my reason to seek the creation and manifestation of it in the third dimension, in every dimension I'm hearing for you, in multi-purpose dimensions I'm hearing, in varying propensities, shapes, and forms, okay? Now, you have here that you're leading out with a complete shift in the way that you are handling matters of finances and the tangibility of what it is that you create. There's a focus on the emotionalism of it. There's a focus on the sentimentalism of it. There's a focus on the feeling through the process of creating it. But as far as the practicality of it and what this, whatever it is that comes to fruition, creates and means in the third dimension is not necessarily of your concern. I'm hearing you understand it's a layover. Now, was it Pisces or Taurus that pulled the Four of Pentacles in reverse in the exact same position? A number of overlapping cards, okay. Nonetheless, the Four of Pentacles overlaying this Emperor in reverse, both in reverse, happening in your energetic pathway that may be seen in tandem with your Ten of Wands final outcome. Ten of Wands card in your final outcome position. You have then the Death card. Upright, Scorpio's card in the Major Arcana, the Father of Swords in reverse, the Strength card upright, a number of cards in this energetic pathway. I'm hearing the remembrance of many figures. Okay, there may be many individuals involved as it pertains to the material, financial, tangible side of whatever this process has been. Okay, and there may be a creative aspect, and I'm hearing asset to it as well. You have then the Five of Cups upright and the Five of Wands in reverse. Two fives in a row, right behind the Strength card. Okay, now you have, again, the Eight of Wands upright in your current state. You have the Six of Wands, okay, we mentioned. There's a certain... I'm hearing Scorpio for you and Pisces at the same time, Gemini. There is a certain revision process. There's a certain point of review that I'm hearing is of the threshold. That is not just moving backwards in time, okay, reviewing, but coming to the point at the threshold of change that is a sort of a reviewing of what has been that has carried you to this point of transformation. And I'm getting it for a number of you specifically as the desire for transformation. What has brought you to the point of recognizing the sheer desire, okay? The momentum of, I'm hearing the force, okay, of, again, the formalization of, I'm hearing this truth. Now, I'm getting it as an emotional truth first and foremost, okay? You come to this point, and there may be a certain event, situation that requires you to take, I'm hearing, stock, okay, I'm hearing, and also I'm hearing to rekindle ties. You do have the Six of Cups upright in your advice, so you are being beckoned to heed not only the material financial aspect of whatever it is that you're working towards and with, but as well, I'm hearing the humanitarian side of it, the people, the places, the feelings that are associated with this material financial process, okay, for a number of you, be it matters of creation. So if this is a professional endeavor, and it may be familial, okay, as well, you realize that at the end of the day, the paradigm that we're working through is inherently creative. It deals with matters of I'm hearing, creating, populace, okay, with producing, with productivity. But what capacitates this change, I'm hearing, and the elongation of resources is ultimately I'm hearing the story, and I'm hearing the hard stories for a number of you that have, I'm hearing, tainted what has been unproductive, perhaps in a certain way for a number of you. And hopefully not, always, hopefully not. Not that it's necessarily positive or negative, but depending on how you take it, right? Gemini, and I'm hearing Pisces for you. What the experiences have been that have led you to the point of ultimate transformation, the desire to, I'm hearing, rekindle. What has been an involvement constantly, I'm hearing, towards, I'm hearing success for a number of you, I'm hearing pollution for a number of you. So take it as you will. There may be, again, humanitarian focus here, environment as well, environmental cause for a number of you, okay? Nonetheless, again, there may be a certain situation that comes through, an event that happens to come about, I'm hearing, through the planning and process of reaching a certain, I'm hearing, preparative course for a number of you, preparation, okay, of events. There is a need to reform, I'm hearing, recategorize the ways that we bring things into order, the way that we strategize, how it is that we understand our experiences, even that are emotional, okay, in nature, that are inherently emotional. And your desire is not only to transform, to move beyond this past that may have been emotionally turbulent, testing in a certain way, perhaps for a number of you, as you may have seen it or felt it, there is the desire to, I'm hearing, remain inclusive, to not just sacrifice, I'm hearing, the emotional side of it, but to understand it in greater light, as it has led to a certain point of the recognition of what it means to feel productive, and I'm hearing genuinely productive, where we're not just creating something, but where we're creating what resonates, I'm hearing, with our heart space. Okay, a focus, again, strongly so in community here for you, Gemini, on collaboration in the ways that honor and I'm hearing, admire the differences, the creative propensities that I'm hearing are generational, are multi-generational, that are inherently different, okay, but that are to be conclusive, that are to be I'm hearing, accepted, okay, but integrated as well, where they're not only present, okay, this variable matters, that variable matters, this characteristic is of importance, this person plays a certain role, but in such a way where they are fundamental to the cause, that has transcended time, I'm hearing for a number of you, that has been withstanding through time, that you have known, that you've felt familiar with, that you've understood very well. Okay, and in the feeling, it's like I'm hearing through birth, and I'm hearing through childbirth. This is, again, could be familial. Okay, but I'm hearing for you, there's a certain threshold of change, and I'm hearing there's a certain sacrifice, perhaps as well. Take it as you will, right? Depending on how you take it, that you are recognizing as an opportunity. And it requires a shift in perception of what we have deemed to be a value of success, a marker of success. I'm hearing perforation, where it is that we have remained open to redefine what success matters, where it is that we have remained, I'm hearing, in a lull, in a stagnancy, where at what point we realize that what we create, I'm hearing, is for the eyes of the optimist, where what we create is just as great in a certain way as how great one can be open to accept, perceiving. And you realize that, very similar to Taurus here, this energy that is coming through, matters of creation, I'm hearing it's not a matter of stagnation, okay, where it's like, well, I created this and it stands for itself, okay, it stands on its own, it just is what it is. I'm hearing, you realize, I'm hearing generational, multi-generational, yet again, could be a focus on family, on history, but you realize that, I'm hearing, what has withstood time holds no meaning, holds no value. I'm hearing namesake, keepsake is, I'm hearing, not for me. Whatever has been created, whatever I have partaken in creating, whatever is associated with me, I'm hearing by name and by number, I'm hearing as well, take it as you will, I realize doesn't speak for itself and doesn't speak for me either. I realize that ultimately everything is subjective, and whatever I hold that holds value to me defines the relationship that I hold to it. And my relationship to my things, to what I create, to my process of change, to my process of creation and manifestation is what stands for me. But at the end of the day, as it pertains to how perhaps others perceive what it is that you create, and I'm getting that there is, I'm hearing standing ovation, there is perhaps a reflective nature to whatever it is that you create, or whatever has been created, okay, Four of Pentacles in reverse, whatever is being dealt with, be it also creative, material, financial assets, you realize that there is a certain viewership, okay, that goes into the interpretation of your work. And there is no solid definition or algorithm to how it will be accepted, how it will be perceived. Okay, I'm hearing it's still, I'm hearing for a number of you, the jury's out still, okay, if this is legal, financial. But if it is creative, I'm hearing you're embarking upon a new chapter, and it is marked by change. And it is not only marked by change, but it is marked by eternal change, where what changes, what's created, then contributes and speaks to the transformation of what we create next, where what we create is a creator in and of itself. And you realize that this cycle that constitutes how you perform and carry out your work is a matter of transformative perception and how it is that you view, again, what you create is a reflection of how you relate to what you create. And I'm hearing seer, S-E-E-R. Okay, so there could be, and I'm feeling sort of Jupiterian energy, focus perhaps on Sagittarius again. There being a focus on a certain idealism, a certain optimism, a certain open-mindedness, perhaps even as it pertains to the philosophical nature of what you're working with as a certain barometer for perception. Okay, so thank you so very much, Gemini, for tuning into your reading. Happy December and holidays to you. For those of you who do celebrate, love and light to you on this transformational journey forward. And thank you all so very much for your dear support. And I highly recommend you to check out your rising, ascendant, or moon sign as well, as oftentimes those may provide you with further insights into your situation. For example, I know that I resonate a lot with my moon sign, which is Sagittarius. Sometimes even more than my sun. I also tend to resonate with my rising ascendant sign as well, here or there, which is Scorpio. Okay, Venus may also play a role here or there as it pertains to finances, matters of relationships, partnerships, specifically those related to matters of career, finances, and creativity. Okay, so creative hobbies as well could fall under the influence of Venus. So check it out. If you don't know your signs, you can calculate them via the link below in the description box that I provide, and that will calculate them for you. Okay, just note though that you do need your exact birth time to calculate your accurate rising ascendant sign, as that may change here or there with a few minutes. Okay, but you could likely get your moon sign without an accurate exact birth time. Okay, unless you're born on a day where the moon was shifting. Okay, where the moon sign was shifting. So if you don't know your time, okay, play around with it and see if it changes, okay, with the time change. But I'm also beckoned to mention this to you, Gemini, that we are in the heat of Mercury retrograde, and that is your ruler. Okay, you are ruled by Mercury, naturally in the zodiac. So, and matters of communication, okay, may be a tremendous focus here for you. So, and I'm hearing ley lines for you. And I'm hearing stagnate. Perhaps if there's something that you're waiting on communicating. And I'm hearing specifically as it pertains to a clause or a venture, there may be, it may behoove you to, I'm hearing, wait in the waiting room, okay, to play and to wait, to not just wait, okay, but to in the meantime work with in a certain way what it is that you are to strategize, perhaps in a professional way, in a formal way, in a way that is clear, okay, but to familiarize yourself with it. And the vision that I'm getting of what this could sort of translate as is, if let's say there's a script, okay, that you are memorizing, for example, okay, a certain speech that you are to give, right, during Mercury retrograde may not be the best time to deliver it per se, but of course it always depends, always heed your personal intuition, and if it's something that you've been working on prior to when Mercury went retrograde, and I tend to consider the pre-shadow period and the post-shadow period as reflectors as well of this energy, then you may you may not want to perform it per se during that period of time. And I believe that Mercury goes direct around the 20th of December, but the post-shadow period ends around the 22nd of January or so, okay, in that ballpark. So if it's something that is of great importance to you, then you may want to wait until then. Oh, of course, take it as you will. Always heed your personal intuition. Always, always, always heed your personal intuition. But nonetheless, right, the vision that I was getting was if you are practicing a certain, I'm hearing regimen as well, a certain call, it's almost as if, right, the time of Mercury retrograde is a lovely time to prepare, I'm hearing, for the act, okay, to gain a certain level of comfort with whatever it is that you are working with. I'm hearing professorship. So take it as you will yet again. Okay, that'd be a sort of mentor role that you are to take on, a certain, I'm hearing expansive, perhaps again, Jupiter, Sagittarius, ruling matters of mentorship, ruling matters of higher learning, so to speak, of teaching in a certain way, again, professorship, so to speak, okay, then that, right, then or professorship as professing a certain feeling or emotion that you want to communicate to another individual, then in whatever realm that resonates with you, it may behoove you to wait, okay, until Mercury goes retrograde, be it in December or the post-shadow period in January. And in the interim, it's a lovely time yet again to perhaps practice with it, okay, almost as if it's like Play-Doh, and just get really comfortable with it and mold it the way you want, and kind of like take it in a sort of light-hearted way, even if what you're working with is maybe serious, it's a serious matter, to gain the sort of I'm hearing the reclusivity with what you're working with, where you feel comfortable with, I'm hearing the topic matter, very specific message for a number of you, okay, in such a way where you feel connected to what you're working with, in such a way where you feel that, I'm hearing, you can outperform, okay, where you can, you can then, I'm hearing continue, okay, continue the entourage, to carry the message through in a certain way, I'm hearing, in a higher light, in a better light. So the focus being on your, I'm hearing your independence as well, your independent clause, I'm hearing, the connection that you hold with it in a very personal way, whatever it is that you are seeking to bring to light, right, maybe a wonderful time during the Mercury retrograde period, okay. That's Bandit there, snorting away, snoring. He's just resting by my side there. Love and light to you all. Thank you so very much, Gemini, for tuning into your video and for all of your likes, your subscriptions, your comments. I'm so very touched by all of you. And I'll be back soon with your early January readings. We're already in 2018, almost nearly there. What a year it's been. So thank you so much again for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Bye.